So, did you know that your transitional housing facility and its assets can outlast you? Think about that for just a minute. That is powerful. And it can live on and on and on, all because you structured it right. So, we're doing a series on trust and transitional housing. And in today's episode, we're going to explore how trusts are used to build a legacy and how that legacy can empower for future generations to come. So, let's dive right in. Now, as I said in a disclaimer, the information that I share with you is for informational purposes only. I am not a lawyer, I'm not a financial advisor, but I am giving information just for you to be able to consider, and I encourage you to go speak with a professional related to your specific matters. So, as we jump right in, I love talking about legacy and I love talking about what your transitional housing facility can do for your legacy. So, as you think about what you're going to do in transitional housing, I want you to consider your mission. So, what is it that you want to do, first of all? Now, I'm just going to say, when I got into this space, my mission it literally has expanded. It just keeps going from one to the next to the next. But guess what? It's still an over-encompassing and just a large way in which I can impact people. Whether I'm looking at individuals who have to register, if I'm looking for people coming out of incarceration, if I'm working with the unhoused, it doesn't matter. My mission still stands firm. And as we move through our space and our mission, and I'll share with you later what mine is, but definitely you want to find something that is going to flow with you. And as you identify what that mission is that you want to accomplish, then you want to make sure that what you structure can continue on even past you. Because many of us who start businesses, as we create them, they go away one generation later, maybe two tops. You've heard me say that after two generations, nobody's even doing it anymore. So when you can create something that will live on for future generations, on and on and on, because you've structured it right under a trust, the power that you are going to do in your family is going to be tremendous. So you want to make sure that your vision is carried on even after you're gone. And it starts with your mission and making sure you set it up in a trust. Now, the one thing that I always make sure of in this space, because you want to make sure that as you're creating this, it has to be created as a legacy building tool. And it's not a tool if you don't have the pieces necessary to make it work. So having a strong succession plan is critical to being successful in what you're creating. And I think that's where a lot of people fall short, whether you're talking about a trust or whether you're just simply talking about a business that you built. We're not taking the necessary steps to ensure that it can continue to grow and thrive. So as you have created that and made sure that you've named someone to be your successor trustee that'll maintain you going forward and understand what it is that you're doing, you're ultimately making a stronger case for having a secure trust that you can pass on. And think about that. As you're doing that, that is now supporting the generational wealth that you can build for your family. I hear people all the time where they'll say, "Oh well, we're building a legacy. We're buying buying houses." So, and I get that. I mean, I'm not going to sit and say houses are not a legacy. But at the end of the day, I see houses as a liability. Unless it's making money and it's creating assets, it's a liability. It's somebody's got to pay for it. Now the value should go up. That's the hope, but it's very it's not the best strategy, at least for me, for creating generational wealth. When you set things up in a trust properly, and that would include those properties, then you're actually creating something that can build on, and you're protecting it, heaven forbid, someone passes on, you don't have to worry about those assets going through probate. That would be an unnecessary tax, right? So you don't want that happening, but you want to make sure that you are supporting generational wealth, not just for your family, but also for the community that you're working in. Because as you're growing this in a trust, for a particular community serving a particular population, it's going to go on and on and on. And that is what you want to be able to do. Now, as you think about your trust and setting it up, it's critical to know that you're going to be creating basically philanthropy that you are going to be giving back when you set up a trust. So a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people just think a trust is, is typically like, at least I can only speak for myself, I guess, for most part, because I know what I've created it for. It's so that we can be able to give back to the community and give back through the ways in which we are saving in taxes, we are now giving back in the community. So where we might not be paying a lot of taxes, we would then be giving back to our community through our foundation. So when you can create charitable opportunities and allocate funds for housing, scholarships, so many different things you can offer, now you're creating something that is powerful and it's being used as a tool to be able to work for you. You can even create an endowment with your trust. Like, it's so powerful, the things that you can do. I get excited when I talk about it. Now, as I say, I'm not an expert in this, but I know how to operate, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm learning from people who are teaching me how to move in this space successfully. So if you want to know how to move really well in this space as it relates to trust, then give me some comments below. I'd love to be able to connect you so that you too can learn how to use this to not only impact your life and your family, but impact the world. Because that charitable part is the part that really gives back to the world and gives back based off of the mission that you want to serve in. So that's what I love about the work that we are doing as we utilize trusts to be able to operate our transitional housing facility and keep those things moving like we want it to be moving, and then everything we make through that to then be able to impact through our charities and be able to give back. Because I love the guys that we work with. We have a great group of guys who really desire to do better, and as we help them do better through our programming, they're going to get that benefit on the back end. So that's what's so exciting about doing this type of work. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. We are going to do more like this over the next few days, so be looking out for it. If you've not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to know more, maybe ask me something that I didn't address here, feel free to ask in the comments. I'd love to be able to give you some feedback. So get out here, get yourself structured right, get a trust, set up your transitional housing facility or your property or your business as such. I can help you do all of that. I can connect you with the right people. So definitely go do that and get out here and change your life. Because as you change your life, you're going to be also transforming the world. And so it is.